Everyone, welcome to this week's distance learning. So, let's have a look at what you'll be up to this week. Alright, so today, if we look at English first, so you've got a bit of BBC Bite Size going on this week, a bit of No Red Ink. If you have any problems logging into No Red Ink, please let either myself or Miss Swanston know, and we'll give you your login details. And then on Wednesday, in English, Maths, and your other lessons, we're going to be doing some silly SATs, because this week would have been your SATs week, and you worked so hard towards them, and you didn't get the chance to do them. So, Mrs. Wilson and I are making some silly SATs with some ridiculous questions in them for you to have a go at, and hopefully it'll be a bit of fun. Okay, it's not a real SATs paper, let me just make that clear. It's going to be a really silly one. Have a go at it. Hopefully you'll find it enjoyable. Okay, Maths this week is mainly BBC Bite Size. However, on Thursday we would like you to have a go at Times Table Rockstars, because you need to keep that knowledge fresh. It will be really important for you all the way through. Whether we come back or not, you will definitely need it. And then the other work this week. You've got 2 YouTube videos this week on Monday and Friday, including this one I'm about to go through. That is on transition work, so social skills, things that will hopefully help you in Year 7. On Tuesday and Thursday, we will also be doing some bits on transition, and then Wednesday, as I said, is silly SATs. Apologies, got a bit of a dry throat. Okay, the one thing I would like to add into this is that this was recorded before the announcement was made on Sunday night. So, I mean, if Boris Johnson has announced anything to do with schools, I'm unaware of it at this point. So anything I say from here on in is assuming that everything is carrying on as it has been. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at transition, and we're going to be looking at making friends. Now, there is a video on here, which I will link to in the description of the YouTube video, and I would really suggest you have a go at watching it. It is really important. It comes from students and their opinions on how to make friends. I'm going to talk to you today about some tips that you can use to make new friends when you don't know anyone, or when you're trying to meet new people for the first time. I'll be using some bits from the PowerPoint, and I'll also give you some of my personal experiences from when I was at secondary school. So first of our tips is to, quite simply, chat. Now, I know that can be really difficult to talk to new people because you don't necessarily know what to talk about. But it doesn't have to be scary. So have a look at some of these ideas to help you. So you could, here is a couple of conversation starters. You could simply ask, do you have a pen I could borrow? And then that's instantly a way of talking to someone. Maybe a really typical one that you can easily ask is, what school did you go to? So you meet someone, you don't know what school they came from, and then you can talk to them about the school that they came from. You can talk about your school, you can talk about their school. It's a really nice way to get started, and then that can lead into asking them what they like and things like that. Okay, so here's another couple. Again, referring to the pen. Maybe you've seen them in a different class. Talk to them about that lesson. How did you find that teacher? What teacher do you have for such and such a lesson? Remember, you'll have different teachers for different subjects. Some of them you'll like and some of them you won't, and that's fine. Talk to other people about that. What primary school did you go to? Do you live nearby? Oh, I really like your bag. That can be changed for anything, so you could compliment them on someone. If you compliment someone on something, it's a really good way of starting a conversation. Complimenting them is going to make it much more positive an experience. Okay, so you might find that you have a friend that you come up with from school, or maybe you make a friend to start with, and then they start to hang out with other people. And some people can find that really hard because they feel like they're losing their friend, and it doesn't have to be, because what you can use that to is to have an opportunity to make friends with their friends and become part of a group. In secondary schools, you tend to find that you end up being in friendship groups rather than friends with, say, one other person. It's easier that way because the age you're going to be, you're going to fall out with people. But this is a way of having a group, means that when you fall out with someone, you've always got someone else to go with. So I really urge you to focus on building up a group of friends rather than just one friend in particular. So here's one example here. So someone's meeting some of the boys I know from football in the canteen at lunchtime. You should come with me. This person is thinking, well, I don't know anyone. But by going to meet them, he's then starting to speak to other people. And 9 times out of 10, this is what will happen. So to give you a bit of personal context there, when I was at secondary school, I went up with no one from my primary school, so I had to start making friends from scratch. I didn't have anyone. I made friends with one person, and they were friends with people from a primary school that they went to, because a lot of them came up together. By meeting that one person, I then met lots of their friends, and I'm still friends with them today. Interestingly, the person I met to start with, I am not really friends with anymore. So actually, by meeting their group of friends, I made long-term friends, not necessarily the first person I met. Okay, speak to someone who's on their own. So if you're feeling like you're on your own and you see someone else that's on their own, chances are they're also looking for someone to talk to. You've instantly got something in common. Something you could always talk about is really simple things. British people, and in fact all people, love to talk about the weather. So if you're not sure what to talk about how sunny it is outside, or more likely how raining it is outside. Look for common interests. So one of the things that's more likely to bond you with someone than anything else is if you like the same things. Now, that might be an interest in a sport, it might be an interest in a band, it might be an interest in a particular type of clothing or a sports team, or who knows what, music, anything at all. Okay, by commenting on that based on something you notice or maybe you hear, that's instantly a conversation starter. So look out for things with other people that you have in common and use that to start conversations. Ask open questions. Open questions are questions that can have a number of responses, whereas closed questions are limited to a few answers, and that can end the conversation really quickly. So when chatting to people, try to use open questions to encourage discussion. And if you get asked a question, try to respond in a way that doesn't seem like you're trying to end the conversation straight away. So if you have a look at the one here, did you have a good summer? Well, that's only got two answers. That's got yes or no. And most of the time people go, yeah, it was all right, or no. And that conversation is then dead. If you change that to how was your summer, that's more asking about what the sort of things they did. So that's creating a bigger discussion. So it was great, I went on holiday, what did you get up to? So you've now got a to and fro, back and forth conversation. Okay, so that is much more likely to lead to a friendship than a dead starter conversation, which are the ones at the top here. One thing that I would say as well at this point is don't expect friendships to happen overnight. Okay, you think about your friendships from primary school, they've taken a long time to build. They don't just happen one day. You might become friendly with someone very quickly, but to have a good friendship with someone, that takes time to build. So don't worry if after the first few weeks you still don't think you've got proper friends, because a lot of people won't. They'll have people that they like, but good friendships take a long time to build up. Okay, be approachable. So have a look at the two people here. Okay, this person in the middle is deciding where to sit. Two empty desks. Okay, at the moment they both look quite unapproachable. However, this time the person on the right here is waving and making themselves approachable. Now, I maybe wouldn't wave, but at least make yourself look approachable. Whereas the person on the left here is very much body language is closed. They're looking at their phone or whatever it is, music player, etc., and they are not engaging at all with the room. So why would you want to go and sit with that person? You're more likely to go and want to sit next to someone that is showing that they are happy to be sat next to. And then quite often the person sat here isn't really sure what's gone wrong. So if you are this sort of person, okay, which we all can be at times, try to catch yourself and try to think about ways you can make yourself seem more open. And it can be as simple as sitting back, not having your arms crossed. If you have your arms crossed, that's quite defensive. Open your arms up. Okay, so a tip that I have put in here is to know yourself. So it's really hard to make friends if you don't know what sort of person you are and what sort of things you like. So know what you like and know what you don't like. Don't feel like you have to like things just because other people do. Make sure you have this ready to talk about with potential friends. There's no harm in having almost like a script of things to talk about. Some people don't need that because they know what to talk about naturally, but some people need a bit of a guide. I was like that, and it's absolutely fine. Do whatever you need to do to feel as comfortable as you can. You need to know what your strengths are and what makes you the person you are, and also try to work out what you would look for in a friend. Okay, so your task for today is I've put it inside and outside the box. That's because I didn't want you to feel like this was a drawing task. It's not. You could either draw a box or you could draw an outline of a person. It doesn't really matter. Inside the person or the box, I want you to write everything that makes you, not necessarily unique, but everything that makes you you. So all of your hobbies, all of your interests, words that would be used to describe you, anything that's been used to describe you before, all the sort of things that make you you. And on the outside of the box or person, I want you to write what you would look for in a friend. So, for example, you might look for someone that is sporty because that's really important to you. It might not be important to you. You might look for someone that is loyal. You might look for someone that is quite easygoing. You might look for someone that's after a deeper friendship. Some people want friends where they just see each other at school and that's it, and that's fine. Some people want friends where it's a closer friendship, so they might speak to each other outside of school, and that's fine as well. But it's important that you work out what sort of friends you are after. The final tip I would give you, which was given to me when I was in year 7, because I was really struggling with making friends, certainly at the beginning, is to weigh it up. In year 7, was always after a friend where I liked absolutely everything about them. And if there was something I didn't like about them, I didn't want to be their friend. And then what I was told, which has stayed with me all the way through to today, is you're never going to find someone that you like absolutely everything about. The important thing is you find people where you like more about them than you dislike. Think of it as like a scale, okay? Where 100% is you like absolutely everything and 0% is you like absolutely nothing. If you're over 50%, you like more about them than you dislike. So they are the sort of person you would consider making a friend with or wanting to make a friend with. The higher the percentage, the more likely you are to want to be friends with them. And the higher the percentage, the more likely they are to be a best friend. Okay? But when it comes to making friends, don't expect to find someone that you're going to like everything about. There are always things that will annoy you or you won't like, but it's the same for them. They're not going to like everything about you, and that's okay. We're never going to find someone that we absolutely like everything about. It's just not going to happen. And if you're waiting for that person, you could be waiting a very long time, and you could end up in a position where you really struggle to make friends. Okay, hopefully some of that advice has been helpful. We will be speaking more about this because friendships are one of the biggest concerns people have going to secondary school. What I can assure you is it will be absolutely fine. I struggled to start with. I was fine. I had a big group of friends. I still have them today. You will be fine. I can absolutely promise you that. For now, stay safe, stay healthy, keep going on Spelling Shed. We have a title to win. I don't mind which year 6 class wins, but we just need to win somehow if we can. If you haven't got your login details, please contact us. I will stop talking now. Stay safe, stay healthy. See you tomorrow for the live lesson. Goodbye.